but it's all good. Okay, well, I am going to go ahead and share my screen, and hopefully you'll be able to see the things that I'm sharing. So, all right. So, Joseph, do you see the Wecare Partnerships logo?
I sure do.
All right, there we go. Awesome. Well, then I'm going to go forward, and I don't know what messed up Brett, but if we're recorded, then both Brett and Jimmy can watch this. And Joseph,
Okay.
we'll just go forward and let you know what we're thinking about here. So,
Okay.
it's kind of cool in a way because you're the one who helped me originally to launch the whole We Care partnership idea. And it has evolved in great ways since then. And, hopefully it won't be too shocking to you when I kind of share some of what has evolved out of this over the last decade. But
Okay.
here's the first part that I wanted to mention because, you know, I'm a connector. It's just the role that I play. I believe that if we are not actively doing more collaborating, we're going to have a hard time seriously creating the solutions, the changes, the things that we want to see. And I've said for quite a while, I mean, I'm kind of the only one sitting here in the middle trying to pull everybody together. But, obviously you and I, Joseph, have had a long-standing relationship. I've appreciated the time you've had me in your magazine. I've appreciated being able to write articles for you. Those are awesome things. And I know you've indicated you'd like those things to continue. Um,
Oh
Jimmy,
yeah.
Jimmy has been amazing for us in that he gave us a reason to create 73 different half-hour radio shows, all on the
Mm,
concept of living your song. So we
right.
have 73 half-hour shows that are really to help more people understand what we envision as having more members in We Care Partnerships Network. Whereas we
Right.
started out trying to make our network mostly about nonprofits, we found that a lot of the nonprofits couldn't quite wrap their arms around what it was we were trying to do. And some of the nonprofits even had some restrictions in place, either because of their bylaws or the way they were structured, that made it difficult for them to work with us. So that's part of the reason why we have moved more towards trying to encourage more people to create what we call social enterprises. And social
Mm-hmm.
enterprises being for-profit businesses that also have a social mission. And so,
Mm.
those 73 shows we did are now being turned into podcasts. Joseph, if you're not aware, Jimmy has created kind of a collaborative podcasting platform on Patreon. If you go to
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurship.black, you will see that he is every week now starting to utilize some of what we already recorded. We can put things in that we are recording new, but every week he's got a schedule now for podcasts on that Patreon channel. And because it's Patreon, people have the ability to become members of it. And basically, we're doing a profit share of those member fees that come in through Patreon. So that's a great example of a collaboration where lots of people are creating content and putting it all together. And I know that you are fully capable of creating that as well. But in my mind, I kind of go, okay, I know Joseph has a full app. And I know Jimmy has a full app, and then of course Brett Ringgold is part of the crew that we've been working with for a long time. We've worked with him. He had a radio station called GospelIsGolden.com. I don't know if he's bringing it back or not, but we did a radio show with him a number of years ago that we called In the Spirit of Business. So
Mm-hmm.
we've done things with all three of you guys, and we recognize that we have a lot of overlap in our missions. You know, the idea that I'm pretty sure all three of you would say yes if you really like the idea of creating more health, more wealth, and more peace on the planet. I mean, that's part of why
Yeah,
you are such in the space of positive media, right?
correct. That's right. That's right.
Absolutely. And the other thing I know about all three of you guys, plus me and Don, is that we do have a strong belief in God, a creator, you know, some higher power that we are looking to for guidance on a regular basis. And what I
That's
really
right.
love about all of us is that we work very hard to try to follow that guidance that we receive. And an amazing thing, because to me, that's the only way we're going to get to a place of what I like to call creating heaven on earth, because we have the power to do that. And there's a lot of things out here that have taken us in strange directions, so that there's only a few of us who are focused on this idea of, you know, following our creator's guidance, creating new solutions, creating things that can help lead us towards health, wealth, and peace. So, you know, Don and I have realized over the last decade that that's part of our mission, is to do as much as we can to step into a leadership role of bringing together these people who are being led by our creator and get them working together. Because we all know about the Bible verse that talks about, when two or more are gathered in my name, I am there also. And that's really the crux of what we're working to do is, you know, let's have two or three or four or more gathered in his name working together. And so that's been a desire of ours for a very long time. And, you know, we invited the three of you guys together because we've worked with you all and we know your hearts, and we know that you're in the right place. You're in the place where we want to be. And so that's why, you know, and Joseph, we've talked to you some in the past. We've talked to Brett in the past, not so much Jimmy yet, about the idea of having advertising alliance partners as part of the Wecare partnership mission. And, you know, that's where that was why I called you guys together and asked you to be here today, is because I really see you three guys as our advertising alliance members, even though we've not really recently anyway formalized talking about such a thing. Part of the reasons that we want you all on board is because you represent different parts of the media and advertising. And, you know, Joseph, with your magazine, both digital and print, that's an amazing thing. Brett does still have at least a couple of radio shows, radio stations going on, but he also is going to be, starting on July 2nd, part of the Now Network, which is a television network that's on Roku and some different places. They've got 29 million viewers, and it happens to be a very spiritually based channel. It's kind of similar to what you might have heard of as the Christian network in the past. So this is a TV platform that's giving more people access who have a spiritual message to share. I saw Joyce Myers was on there. That was one of the names that popped up that I recognized. So Brett's getting ready to have that TV show on a weekly basis for you know, a half an hour. And so he's got the opportunity for people to do advertising on a TV platform. And then of course Jimmy's got the podcasting network. And so we want you guys to find a way, if at all possible, to start to do something to collaborate. Because up here at the top, you know, we're looking for advertising alliances where we can help you in terms of selling your advertising. And at the same time, we're hoping there's ways you guys can help us generate prospects for our entrepreneurs in training. We've got a couple of different nonprofits right now we're talking to about the idea of being able to do work study programs with them. And just like Joseph, I know all three of you were represented at Southeast Raleigh High School a year and a half ago. And, you know, some people went forward more with that than others, and that's fine. That was an example of me trying to show you guys where we were going, because we wanted those Southeast Raleigh High School students to help you guys sell your advertising. And I know Jimmy put some time in there, and the tough part for the high school students was, without having some kind of a stipend or something, you know, like part way through the training, it was hard to keep them motivated to, you know, get to the point of actually making money. And that's one of the things that we've been working on building into our work study programs, is ways to have a stipend of some sort for folks, so that they stay motivated to get to the point where they can actually start to create some entrepreneurial income. So, but that's the kind of situation, because we want more of these entrepreneurs in training to be able to work with folks who've already got a prospect list that perhaps they don't have time to work with. We want them to be able to help us to generate advertising, to generate more prospects, so that they've got people to talk to. Because if we're ever going to eliminate poverty, if we're ever going to help more people escape the poverty trap through entrepreneurship, their biggest challenge is they do not have a productive network to go to. So anything we can do to share our networks or to generate new prospects, to help them and let them play the consulting role, let them learn about your businesses and let them do the selling process. Don's already proven he can be a great coach for anybody. We just need, because Brett had some experience with us a couple of years ago at that. We had a nonprofit in Raleigh that allowed us for a couple of weeks to take some of their clients on site, and Brett was selling advertising to one of his radio stations. And so Brett came in and explained about the radio stations, explained about the advertising package, and then he kind of turned it over to us, worked with us to create a telemarketing script, and then turned it over to us. And Don did an amazing job of coaching some of these people. And they were starting to make some sales for Brett's radio station. So we know it can be done, and we want to see more of it happening. We also know that we're going to be doing Wecare events as we work with more work study programs. One of the things, and Joseph, you came out to our kids event last year. It was a little wild and crazy, but it was middle schoolers who were doing the car washing, doing sales. They made money, they took money home. You know, we want more of those kinds of events, and we need an alliance group to help us promote those events so we can get more people out there. It's absolutely part of what we have to do. But we want you guys also to provide us with some kind of a collaborative advertising package for our Wecare business mentors. So where if they are a Wecare business mentor, there's somebody who's agreed to help mentor some of our people in our work study programs, we want them to be able to get a nice little package of advertising from you guys, and something that has special member only pricing. So we're talking about building an alliance in a number of ways here, because we want it to benefit you, to help create more people who can help sell your advertising. But we also are asking for assistance in helping us to promote events that we are doing under the Wecare banner. So that's a whole lot of information in a real short time, but most of you have experienced some little piece of that with us already. So Joseph, does that make sense to you?
It does. It does.
Okay, and I see Brett found his way here. Woohoo! Brett, I don't know how much of that you heard, but we were talking about way back when we were at Passage Home, and we had some people working on selling radio advertising for you. I'm assuming you wouldn't mind having that kind of situation again. Brett, I can't hear you.
Don't be shy. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I don't see him as muted. Well, I can't hear you, sweetie, so I'm just going to keep on plugging. But anyway, so that was the first thing that I wanted to kind of put out here. And if you guys go to wecare-partnerships.com, you'll see this page up here that talks about advertising alliance partners. And yes, I was bold enough to just stick y'all on it. I'm sorry. If you don't want to be on it, you just need to let me know and we'll take you off. But you know, that was the first piece that I wanted to let y'all know. So all three of you are here because I feel like all three of you belong here, and that's just my belief, and I'm sticking to it for the moment. But the other piece that I wanted, well, and most of you are also aware of our Women Leading from the Heart website and our Men on a Mission website. This is where we're bringing more of our Wecare partners. So the people who already have the vision to create solutions, those are the people that we want on these pages. These women are all involved in creating solutions out here. Most of them don't have a nonprofit. Many of them are working on building a social enterprise, exactly like what we talked about. A couple of them have nonprofits, but these are the ladies who are building solutions, and we want to be able to create a collaborative way for them to be advertised as well. If everybody who's a member could chip in a little bit of money and be able to get advertising through you guys, that could be an amazing thing. Because this group, for those of you who know this, Brett actually was here at this. Brett met us. He was in Baltimore at the time, and he came to this event that we did in Washington, D.C., and, you know, we showcased a bunch of women who are out here creating solutions. I have a funny feeling that we're supposed to do something similar again next year, but I don't want it to be just the women. I want it to also be the men.
Hey, I was there.
Yes, Don was there. He wasn't one of the speakers though, but he was there, and that was a beautiful thing. And so we have the Men on a Mission United group as well, which is way too darn small of a group right now. Right now we got Joseph on here, we've got Don, and we've got a gentleman named Donald, and we got a gentleman named Rick Mabe. And these guys, again, they're into creating new solutions out here. And, you know, really Brett and Jimmy should be on there as well. So that's where our focus is in the Wecare Partnerships gaining membership right now, is these two pages where we want more people who are into creating new solutions. So that's a huge piece of it all. Now, this is the part that you guys may or may not be surprised to hear about. Don and I are actually writing a book together right now, and it's really based on all of the things that have happened to us in the last 10 years. And that includes Don running for governor and finding brick wall after brick wall that was purposely put in his way to make sure that nobody could ever hear our ideas. That includes things that we've experienced in the healthcare system where, you know, people are being they're being told that the only way you can cure anything is through drugs and surgery, and we know that's not true. You know, the bottom line of our book is that we feel that most of our systems out here have been spiritually hijacked. Basically, whether you're talking about our education system, our health and wellness system, whether you're talking about systems that are holding people down in oppression and poverty, all of these systems seem like they have purposely taken God out of it. And, you know, you can talk about separation of church and state and how that's so necessary, but here's the kicker. When you start taking God out of everything and building the systems as if God doesn't exist, then what we see is chaos, anger, violence, oppression, using people, and loving money. That's what's happening all around us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where Don and I are. And you guys may not know this, but we, because Don and I have what is a healing ministry now, we went looking for a way to actually have a healing ministry. And so we are considered reverends at this point in time, and we found a small organization that would work with us to help us to have a healing ministry without the worry of a doctor saying, you know, you're practicing medicine without a license. You know, that kind of stuff drives me nuts, because there is spiritual healing, and that's a huge part of what we believe in and what we're trying to help more people experience. So, you know, that's why we're putting it all out here is, hey, we are responsible for creating a heaven on earth now. And if we're going to sit back and expect a bunch of silly politicians to do it, let's think about this logically. They have no incentive to do so. They keep getting paid and they keep making raises for themselves. And they get rich off from having poverty out here. So, you know, we are very much trying to shine the light on the idea that God has been purposely removed from our systems out here. We need to put it back in. We need to be the ones to say, hey, you know, we have the ability to create our own heaven on earth, and we've got to stop waiting for somebody else to do it. We've been, when Don ran for governor, there was actually something that was part of our platform called the Prime Law. It's designed to put a law in place that is all about God's law instead of all kinds of crazy man's law, which is just getting people fighting more and more and more and more. And, you know, we're very much in the belief that if we can put God's law back into our country, because it's even being taken out of our Constitution, even though it started out having it, then, you know, we can create more solutions out here. So, you know, we are going to start pre-selling this book. We've written probably 3/4 of it right now. We've got a company behind us that is going to help us build a marketing funnel and such. But I just wanted you guys to know that this really is the core, and it's taken us 10 years to realize it. It has literally taken us 10 years to realize that our core mission is all about helping people to utilize more of their God-given potential. And so that's the whole premise behind Wecare partnerships. And, you know, you may or may not resonate with this. And if you guys decide you don't want to be a part of this, because this is where we are, we totally love, honor, and respect that. It's not a problem. We just need to start letting people know this is who we are, this is what we're about, and this is why Wecare partnerships exist. Because we want more people utilizing their God-given potential to create solutions where we have more members of Women Leading from the Heart, where we have more members of Men on a Mission United, and it's going to become a movement. I mean, notice that. I did this for a reason. #do the change. We got to stop expecting everybody else to create the change out here for us. We are made in the image and likeness of a creator. It's time for us to create the change. So I'm going to shut up for a second. You guys can tell me, are you ready to run away, or are you liking this?
No, I'm here, Cheyenne, for the calls.
Okay.
You know, of course, I always have been doing things a certain way, you know, to send those positive type of messages, you know, out there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there's a lot of things going on, you know, in the world that's strategic, of course, you know, for the other side. And, you know, I can see that stuff. You can see it. So I think that, you know, having that incorporated in the community stuff that I already do, you know, that's going to keep certain values there too. So I'm in for. I mean, it's an initiative, so you know we have the right to have initiatives. I mean, we have other initiatives and stuff too. So you know,
Absolutely.
So I'm all for it.
And you know, I hope you guys all understand by now that Don and I are working out here to try to build bridges. And, you know, we know that some of the biggest bridges that need to be created are, you know, where's the fighting happening? The fighting's happening between the races. The fighting's happening between the political parties. The fighting's happening between the religions. And we're saying, no, you know, we can't have heaven on earth if we're doing all this fighting. And so that's why it's like, let's just look over the top of some of the craziness created by the political stuff and just recognize what we are able to do. And that's the bottom line of it all. And that's why we're out here just being the bridge builders, and pray that you guys see yourself that way too, because we do, or we wouldn't be here with y'all right now.
Oh yeah.
Cool deal. So let's see, the last piece that I wanted to kind of throw here on the table, hopefully again, yeah, you kind of get it. We want to help you. We're asking you to help us in a number of ways. We want you guys selling more of your advertising. We want our Wecare members, which are both the women leading and the men on a mission. We want our Wecare members to have ways to do collaborative advertising through you guys. All of those things are part of what we are proposing here. But the last piece that we ask you all to consider, and y'all are in this already in some way, shape, or form, but I understand the reasons why you may not have truly embraced some of this yet. But understand this, just like you guys work really hard to kind of interpret the guidance that you get from your creator to do things, we do the same. And the number one thing that I've been hit over the head with for 25 years is the whole network marketing thing. I have been shown over and over again visions that network marketing, if it is done correctly, is supposed to be the perfect expression of the golden rule. As you help other people succeed, you also succeed. That's what it's supposed to be. There's a lot of people who've corrupted that, just like they've corrupted everything else in our society. But that has been the message that has come back to us over and over and over again, is that we have to show people, we have to teach people that this is a business model that is supposed to be predicated on the golden rule. And so that's why we have asked you guys to be involved in it with us, because you guys are all about the golden rule. You absolutely demonstrate it in so many things that you do. And so to me, this is just another way that you can demonstrate and help us in a reciprocal way, because we want to be promoting you, but the thing is that you can help to promote with us as well. And for those of you who are not really clear about this, right now, iClub Biz, Brett is above me. So Brett is above me, and I'm under Brett, and then Don's on one leg, but we've got Joseph under me, and then we've got Jimmy under Joseph. So you guys are all there. You're just not willing to do anything with it. You all have a team building under you, but you haven't been willing to do anything with it. So just know that, you know, we're pulling in, iClub Biz is not a high dollar value thing. And that's one of the reasons we're in it, because we can use it as a tool to teach people who don't have any money. Because anybody can join iClub Biz for $5. And if somebody doesn't have $5, I can usually find a sponsor for them for $5. But the cool thing is, we've got enough people in our team. We're getting about $100 a month from iClub. So that's not a bad thing. It's part of what's helping to make our RV payment. And we know money can be made in iClub, and it should be a relatively simple sale. So I just want y'all to understand, and some of you have iWebAtool and some of you don't. And the iWebAtool, again, it is a product that is heavily about internet marketing and about lead capture. And all of you are involved in internet marketing in some way, shape, or form. So we're using iClub's lead capture system as a training tool for low-income people. That's one of the reasons we'd love to have y'all involved in using it. It's $12.50 a month. It's not huge. But again, I'm not into forcing anybody. I just want you to understand what we've got here so that you can at least make intelligent decisions about it. We still, Joseph has been an associate in the past in Legal Shield with us. this is still one of our best fundraising tools. If we can do an employee benefit program in Legal Shield, we can make money fast. We can fund programs that will take care of teaching homeless people about entrepreneurship. But we need help in terms of making the connections to find the companies that are willing to do those employee benefit programs. There's no reason that you guys can't all be part of our team at some point in time and help us find those connections, and we could be helping you make money at the same time we're making money. So just want to bring that up again because it is an important piece of our puzzle. And then the last thing I wanted to make you aware of, and this one, Brett's already on board with this, and this is something that's free. So there's not even a good excuse for you guys not to be involved in this one with us. But we, as part of Youngevity has what they call their services side. And they're actually getting ready to brand it all under David Allen Capital. So if somebody doesn't give a flip about nutrition and wellness, well, guess what? You all are involved with business owners. And we have the ability through David Allen Capital to be able to make money on business loans. Anybody can sign up for this. And like I said, Brett's already got an account for this. And you can make some nice little dollars on this if somebody decides to get a business loan through you. Through David Allen Capital, there's also, way down here at the bottom, I noticed they stuck it at the bottom, we have also merchant card services. So this is something that you guys can be involved in as well. I don't know where it went. I saw it earlier, but merchant card services do exist through David Allen Capital as well. It's a way to build residual income. And the last thing that David Allen Capital is coming up with, and I got really excited about this when I was in Colorado last weekend, we now have the ability to provide health insurance coverage to people who are uninsured at this point. This is an amazing program, and again, anybody can sign up to sell this for free as part of our team. It's called the Freedom Plans, and I'll show you real quick just exactly what this ends up looking like, because I was so blown away to see this, because there's so many people who decided they didn't want to be in the marketplace because the what do you call them? Nope, not the premium, the deductible. The deductibles were so darn high. So we now have, get a load of this, somebody can choose how much coverage they want for a year. So they can choose $7,500, they can choose $20,000. I'm just talking about individuals right now. An individual can have this plan where they can get $7,500 worth of coverage for a year for $285. It covers people with pre-existing conditions. It covers everybody. There's no exclusions to somebody being able to have this plan. And it also has no deductible. So the way that it works, just to give you a quick idea, is that if somebody went to a doctor's office and had an in-office procedure that was like $1,500, first of all, our plan would negotiate it down, typically to somewhere around $900, and whatever's left, it would be a 50-50 split between the covered person and what the company would pay. So on a $1,500 procedure, somebody would only have to pay $450. So it's a cost sharing kind of plan, but because there's no deductible, it could be a much better situation for a lot of people and for a lot of folks who couldn't afford any kind of insurance in the past. So just so you know, this is something that, again, Don and I are going to be looking for companies where we might be able to offer this as an employee benefit program. We can't do that until July 1st. But again, opportunity to put things out here to small business owners, where if you guys are able to help us just generate leads, we can close business in your name. That's all that we want to do, is to be able to partner with you guys, get some help in promoting business loans, merchant services, and health insurance plans, and we can help write stuff in your name. I told him it's free.
That's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's free.
I can afford that. Well, that's right ahead.
So that's the full scale deal in terms of what we wanted to share with you today, is just to let you know this is the vision that we've got for building advertising alliance partners as part of the Wecare Partnerships Network. And it's totally up to you guys. Again, I'm not into high pressure sales. We love and adore you guys. We want you to be involved with us, but if it's not for you, it's okay. And if it is, then we got some work to do, because we need you guys to come and give us ideas on advertising packages for people and how can we work with our low income folks. And we pray that you'll at least take the free option with David Allen Capital and help us there as well.
Okay. Well, Cheyenne, for me, after this call, give me a call.
Okay.
Because remember I told you I need to circle back with you anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, we can talk about, put some details in place.
All right. That sounds
It
like
won't be a long call. It won't be a long call or anything like that, but just let you know what's on my mind.
all right.
Is Brett hearing?
I don't know. Brett, I haven't been able to hear you. Can you hear us? I'm assuming he can, or he would have probably disappeared. Brett? I can't hear him, but that's all right. Oh, yes, he says he can hear me. All right. Well, I don't know why we can't hear you, but it's all good.
Probably muted.
All good.
You haven't muted yourself, have you?
Okay, all good. So does that mean you still wanna be involved with us, sir? Okay, good deal. Good. So I'm going to go ahead and shut off this recording so that it'll be available for Mr. Jimmy.